All right, if you have never used ChatGPT and you're a fiction author, this video is going to unlock something for you. I'm Dominic. I'm a full-time marketer, fiction author, and a founder of LegendFiction. It's a community for wildly creative writers. This is a video that I'm making for my fellow authors in the community, especially if you're staring at this AI thing and you're like, what even is this? So here, I'm going to show you how to literally talk to ChatGPT like either on your laptop or on your phone, even while I'm out walking, and how to use it to brainstorm, structure story ideas, and get clarity even when I'm stuck. This is beginner level. So zero tech, background needed. I'm going to walk you through the interface. I'm going to show you how to type or how to dictate prompts and how you can get real help from chat like it's your creative sidekick. And the best part, by the end, you're going to know the one trick that makes chat actually helpful, which is role playing. Once you get this, your creative life's going to get way easier. Here's how I am using ChatGPT as a fiction author to help me to get organized, to brainstorm, to build things. Head over to chatgpt.com. You can also use Claude. It's probably going to be exactly the same. I use this just because it's what I got familiar with. So create a free account. On the free plan, it's going to limit how much you can do, but you can get a ton of really good stuff done. And then it's only 20 bucks a month. And you can either hit this dictate option. Sometimes I find that if I have a long dictation, it doesn't capture everything. So you can either type it right in going, hi chat. I like to start that way. If you're on Windows, I like to press Windows H, and then I'll just talk and it'll dictate right in. If you're on a Mac, it might have a different tool. Um, so, and if you're on your smartphone, which is what I do a ton when I'm walking, I just pull up the text to type tool and I just chat right into it. Let's press this here. Hi, chat. I want you to act like somebody who works at NASA. Let's say I'm writing a science fiction fantasy novel and it's set in orbit. I want you to pretend to be a NASA scientist who understands all of the latest research for NASA and give me feedback on how a generation ship could crash into a meteor and start to deteriorate and explode and go into what is it called? A terminal orbit, something where it's going to crash into the planet. Give me some research on how this could work. And then you hit enter and it goes running. So here it is. It's straight up like seriously role playing. It's pretending it's got a name, it's got specifics, things that it's good at. And here's what is fantastic about doing this. When it does this kind of thing, it's creating parameters around how it gives you your answer. If you ask chat straight, hi chat, tell me how I can write a fiction novel, it's going to just pull all of the short-term memory that it has. But if you say, act like Stephen King or act like my favorite author and give me their feedback on how they would structure and write a novel. And let's say my novel is this idea that I think I might have. How would they help me do that? You're now having chat search through everything that it understands that's kind of related to how authors like Stephen King or Stephen King type of styles are going to help you to um, brainstorm and ideate your content. All right, so here is how we're asking for this research. It's being creative, which is cool. How it collide with a meteor, deteriorate, and enter a decaying orbit. That's what I was trying to call it, orbital decay. Um, Here's some collision, and even a small meteor could tear through a hull. Modern spacecraft use Whipple shielding. I had no idea. I still don't know what that is. So a main thruster or gyroscope control could be hit. Okay, so now we're getting ideas for our sci-fi story. Okay, and you can just keep on going with the different research. So that is super helpful. Now you can continue doing this for any other topic that you have. For example, my character is in, let's just go ahead and let's do this right now. My character lives in World War II and he is um, behind enemy lines. And I have this idea that he discovers a blimp is being built and it's going to rival the Hindenburg and it's set on a course to attack the United States. And this is a mystery thriller. If you were to be like Stephen King, how would you help me turn this into more of a drama and a scary, horror story with great epic characters? Where might this story go? And now you're starting to collaborate and get ideas and feedback. Because sometimes you might have like, oh, this is kind of a cool idea. Let me war game this. Let me brainstorm and see what can happen. All right. So here's this idea. All right. Alternate history World War II thriller. Behind enemy lines, one spy uncovers a secret weapon that floats above history and could burn the world down. That's not too bad. So we have a pilot or a spy who is a downed Allied pilot discovers the Nazis are secretly building a super blimp, and it's called Leviathan, a tech successor to the Hindenburg, twice the size, filled with stealth tech, blah, blah, blah. All right, why a blimp and so on, and then it's going to have some really interesting stuff. So these are ideas. Now, it is possible, and you're going to see a bunch of tech online that is going to actually help you straight up. You could fully outline, fully create characterizations and stuff like this. Um, now, I'm saying you can. It actually takes a lot of work to have chat straight up write an entire novel for you. I'm not going to recommend that because part of the straight up fun, the legit fun of writing is that you actually do it. You have the ideas, you ideate and you brainstorm and you get help with them. And then you take all of that and you transfer that over into like a spreadsheet or a Word document or whatever your organization tool is. And then you sit down and then you go through the actual writing. And once you're done, you can then come back with that chapter, drop it right in. If you made it this far, you've just had your first real walkthrough on how fiction authors can use ChatGPT. You can head over to the website and give it a test, start trying it out yourself. We talked about how to open a thread, literally talk to it just like a person, and start getting legit help with your story ideas. You've learned how to dictate, how to role play, how to drop in a prompt, and then how to see what comes out. You don't need to be polished or perfect. Chat can follow your messy brain and make sense of it. Now, in the next video, what we're going to do is go deeper. I'm going to show you how I can paste in my actual writing, like chapters or scenes or dialogue, and then use chat to give me feedback like a pro editor. It's not always nice. It's not always perfect. If you can hire a real editor, you're almost always going to have a better time, but this can help you level up faster. So if you want to see how to take your draft and how to level it up quickly, well, let's go ahead and see you in part 2.